Hey, what's up guys? It's Nqobile Tembane from Top Traders South Africa, and I'm bringing you guys another installment of Market Masters, where I sit down with the most talented and prominent traders in the industry. And today I'm joined by another talented trader in the industry who's had a very interesting journey. I believe that today you guys are going to learn something from it, and I'm also going to learn something from it. Welcome, Rian.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's been quite a journey so far.
Yeah.
Trading has been my passion since I started. Like, since I stumbled upon trading,
Yeah.
I was like, okay, damn, like I really enjoy doing this. And I would say not even just for the money. At the beginning, the money really caught me.
Yeah.
And we'll speak about that,
Yeah.
how that really like carried on to a lot of failures in my trading career.
Yeah.
But like just the numbers, the freedom, everything that like it had to offer, I was like, okay, like I really like this, let me pursue this. So yeah, here I am.
Nah, perfect. Nah, thank you for coming out. You actually come from Pretoria side, actually, and we shooting here in Sandton at the XM educational offices right there. I see even the hoodie's got XM on it. It's pretty rad. Yeah, how are you doing?
I'm doing actually very well lately.
Lately.
Yeah, well, to be honest, you have your ups and downs. Lately, it's been going really, really well. There are times where you maybe have like an off week in trading, and I do feel like a lot of people, most new traders, come into the industry expecting they're going to just boom and make a lot of money, and they don't really experience the losing side of things, because there is a huge part to that as well, and how to control that, and we'll also talk about that.
Yeah, no, 100%. I believe you are. Okay, so I'm basically 26 years old this year, but I believe you're like 20 years old.
Yes,
correct?
I'm 20.
20
yes.
years
Turning
old.
21
yeah.
in October.
And October, I'm also born in October as well. Yeah, no, and I think that it's very inspirational, especially just to see so many more young people coming to the game, especially early, and also the psychology of it's kind of just shifted, because I believe a long time ago, not long time ago, but a while back, a lot of young guys came into the game with like overly ambitious as well. But like I believe you're young right now, you're making money, you've traded funded accounts and all that, and I think that's really inspirational. But like before we get into all the conversation, you started trading at what age?
I started trading when I was just under 18. So I was 17, barely turning 18, and then my friend introduced trading to me. So he stumbled upon a big influencer on Instagram. And he was like, look at this guy, he's buying all these cars, he's making like so much money per day, we can also do this. Let's buy signals. And then we bought his signals, and that like snowballed into like a lot of other signal providers. So yeah, I started trading when I was roughly 18.
Yeah, so you're busy buying signals at this point. Obviously, what are you looking at that age? What is it that you're chasing at that time? Like when you're buying signals, because obviously you buy the first signal, you buy the second signal, you buy the third signal. Yeah, what is it that you were chasing?
Okay, so in the beginning, as I said, like the money really drew me in. I was like, okay, I can really make a lot of money. I don't have to go and study, because I had an option to either go study full time or pursue trading full time. And I was like, okay, I really like trading. Let me give this a go. And I started taking signals. Lost a very big amount of money within my first week. I don't know how I recovered so quickly from that.
Okay.
But yeah, in the beginning, it was really like the nice cars and the status. I was like, okay, I'm going to become a big shot. Like everybody's going to know me. I'm going to become famous. Like I can buy whatever I want. Like I can wear expensive clothing. People will recognize me. That was kind of the mindset going into things. And then I quickly got humbled. I bought a lot of signals from a lot of companies. At one stage, I think I had more than 10 active subscriptions from or 10 different signal providers at one stage, and I still wasn't making any money. So there were points where I would like just blow extreme amounts of money and just fund more and fund more and fund more.
Yeah, but why weren't you making money though when you look back at it?
Well, to be honest, it's just to me, it was the whole experience side of things. You can literally have signals or education or mentorship from someone that is profitable, that does want to help you. But you also need experience yourself. You also need to take the losses yourself to get through that side of the learning curve. So I do believe the experience in the market is a very big factor when you look at profitability. I can send you a very good NASDAQ signal that goes very well, and you can still lose money off of it, believe it or not. So I do believe at the start, my money management, my risk management was completely out of order. One moment I will risk a very big amount of money, the next moment I will risk a quarter of that, or an eighth of that, which is completely wrong. Consistency is extremely important in this game. Like I can't stress that enough. Consistency and really like getting over all your emotions and the psychology side of things. And yes, obviously the technical side of things isn't that hard. You can be profitable with roughly anything. I personally trade SMC or more so ICT concepts, but I do believe you can be profitable by using retail concepts. And when I refer to that, I also think all of us are retail traders. We aren't like smart money or institutional traders. We are all retail traders.
That's the current conversation right now.
Yes.
No, but like we're still busy on the signal one. I think there's a lot of people who think that they can join signals and that is like the door to the promised land and all that. Do you believe that somebody can actually make good money off signals?
I do think so, but you're very limited to a certain point. So if I have to look at myself now, being a signals provider, a lot of the people, they just join us, one losing signal, and they say, yeah, this and this and this. They make a lot of accusations and they don't like it. I do think you can be profitable, but the best way to go about things are to actually pursue it full time, because a lot of people think it's just a side hustle. You can just buy those guys' signals and make like an extra 50K per month, which is completely false in my opinion. Obviously, you probably do get people that can do that, but it is extremely rare. I would say the best route to go is to actually pursue it full time, like I did. I basically treated it like a 9 to 5. So I would wake up even before 9. I would be up at 7, start watching courses, taking signals. So also there is a lot of stress on the signal providers when people complain, because we want to provide quality. That's especially our company. We really enjoy like providing quality over quantity. So we try, and I think the average amount of signals per month this year was maybe 4 or 5 signals per month, where you might find someone else sending maybe 4 signals a day. Not one is better than the other. It's just you also need to find someone that suits your personality. So that is the psychology part of things. You really need to, how can I put it? You really need to find a signal provider that suits your personality perfectly. Like me, I do not have I did not have a lot of patience. So when I joined the signals group and it was like a swing trader sending swing trade signals, I would be like, okay, let me get in this with massive lot sizes. The stop loss was extremely big. Boom, there's my account blown. And I was like, why the heck is this not working? Like, I'm buying this guy's signals, it's costing me a lot of money and I'm still losing money. But then I discovered like it's swing trades, you need patience, you need to like hold those trades for months, where I can't even hold a trade for over a day. So it's not coming together. Yes. So you also do get like different signal providers. Like you get swing traders, you get people that live trade, you get people that send daily signals, maybe 2 signals a day. So it all depends on your personality, I would say. And you could be profitable by signals.
All right, that's great. So I want to know the learning process for you. How was the learning process? Because like obviously you started off taking signals, but also you also needed to learn as well. So how was that whole like journey for you learning?
So basically I would say the whole learning process started after my first huge account being blown, because I was one of those people thinking, okay, I can be completely successful and make a lot of money from just signals, you know. And then I discovered after I lost my first big amount of money, I was like, okay, I need to get into this. I need to study this. I need to become good myself and know why these traders are sending out these trades. Because it doesn't help you just take a trade and you have no idea why he's targeting a certain area or why he's putting his stop loss there. You'll probably just get blown out of the market within a short period of time. So the learning process really started after that, and I started buying courses. I was really blind when buying courses. I would just look at people's social status and the cars they drive and the lifestyle they're living, the profits they're posting. So I would buy any person that posts like a huge blue screen on MT5, I would buy a course from, even if it costed me 10K.
Yeah.
I would be like, okay, let me buy this. I'm going to become a millionaire now.
Yeah.
And I started studying the courses and it still didn't work. It was mostly retail courses. So in the beginning, I got into retail trading, retail concepts, and support and resistance, your trend lines. And I bought a few courses, went through them, didn't really work, lost more money. Started getting into supply and demand concepts. Bought some people's courses over there, studied it, really like interacted with the groups as well. Still didn't really find profitability, and then I stumbled upon ICT, which is actually like a free source of knowledge, and that started working for me. So it just proves to me that not every person that tries to sell you a course for a lot of money, it's worth it. Like you need to really like go and do your research before buying courses, because that's a big mistake I made. I did zero research. I just looked at their Instagram, and if they had a nice Instagram, I would buy the course.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, no, that's great, and that happens to a lot of people actually. Is that a lot of people buy courses based on just what they see, and
Yes.
but like, how do you like identify like a quality person of whom to buy course from though?
Well, to be honest, they usually have testimonials, and the tip that I can give before buying someone's course is to really like follow what they're doing. Don't just follow them on social media and see that they're eating at this nice restaurant or they're driving this car. Rather like watch their charts and what they do, and go into the charts yourself and really look at why did they take this trade. What is the risk to reward on this trade? Because that's another big factor in this game. Is the risk to reward side of things. Yeah. I can send out a trade with 1 to 0.5 risk to reward, and I would constantly hit TPs, and I could post that on social media, where you are maybe trading a 1 to 3 or 1 to 4 risk to reward. You'll maybe have more losses, but if you are a profitable trader, obviously you'll be profitable. But yes, the risk to reward does matter a lot in terms of like what people post. Because I would say I was also like that in the beginning. When I started creating a name for myself, I would only post profits. I would only post like the winning side of things. I would never show the losing side of things. And now I do realize how important it is to also show people like the losing part of things. Like when we ever have like maybe 2 or 3 trades, or maybe a live stream that doesn't go too well, we would really give a speech to the clients telling them like, listen, don't come here with expectations of just making money. You should be here to learn, you should be here to observe, and you should know that losses are unfortunately a part of the game. You can't like just ditch losses. It's impossible.
It's impossible, yeah.
Like we're playing here against banks and central governments. So
yeah, big players. People with very deep pockets that we need to keep up with. Yeah, so I know you're a NASDAQ trader essentially, right?
Yes,
yeah.
my bread and butter is NASDAQ. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, so when you open the NASDAQ charts, like what is something that you look for per se? What's the first thing you look for?
Okay, so personally, whenever I trade NASDAQ, I would have a weekly outlook, and I would have, how can I say, a higher time frame narrative. I would maybe go down from a monthly to a weekly, which isn't that important, just to get roughly an idea where your next drawn liquidity is, where the market wants to head next.
Okay.
And then from there, I would go live, and then people would join the live stream. And before analyzing, I would wait for a lot of people to join. Then I know, okay, I can start now. Then I would start roughly 3:30 p.m. and when the market opens, the New York Open starts, and I would start analyzing from the daily. I would look for certain like key areas like FEGs, order blocks, liquidity, equal highs, equal lows, weak lows, what the order flow is. So your daily bias is pretty important to get the direction right. And I also teach this to the clients that you first focus on trying to get the direction right. Your entry is, how can I say, the most important, but it's not the hardest to get. Your bias, your overall directional bias for the day is very crucial. So I would go on a daily chart, yes, and then I would mark those kind of things out. I would drop down to an hourly chart, and I would also do the exact same thing, like FEGs, order blocks, liquidity, where's the market heading, and then still with a 15-minute, exactly the same thing. Obviously, I wouldn't do all the time frames, whichever is the cleanest on that specific day.
Okay.
And then when 3:30 starts, usually I'm done by 34 past 3, so 4 minutes after market open.
Okay.
I would usually start the live streams at 3:15, but I don't trade at New York Open like 3:30. I wait for 10 minutes, which I call, and it's not something I invented, but I call it like a fake move. So I would wait for the market to present this fake move, which doesn't always happen. That's why it's important to gain experience so you know when this is happening. I would wait for the fake move to happen and maybe take out liquidity or something along those lines. And then I would find an entry to the opposite direction. So that's basically in a nutshell how my model looks. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. And it sounds like you need a bit of practice and experience. I don't know, a lot of people watching here, they're like, yo, this guy is saying, hey, fake move at 3:30. I'm going to do the opposite.
Yes.
So like, guys, please, also like practice and do some back testing. Don't just take everything that we say here to heart and then just think that, hey, that's the next best thing right there.
That's actually such a valid point, because that's why I do the live streams as well. So the model that I explain now, I explain in depth for free, and I provide a PDF with a whole model for our premium clients. And yes, like I said, you need the experience. That's why I do the live streams, and I offer free live streams. I don't charge or anything for it, so that the people can see from my perspective and really get better at it. With a proper mentor that shows them, okay, this and this and this. And it's not a live session where just I speak. I allow them to unmute their mics and ask questions. There's a live session chat where they can ask questions about the model that I trade. So I do believe that's the best way to gain experience, because you do need experience with any strategy, any system, any model. There's nothing that will be like a golden duck that will, just provide you wins and wins and wins. You need experience. You need practice.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, that's true. So building the model, the trading model that you have, what would you say to someone who wants to build their own? Like, what should they focus on like first?
Well, obviously, getting something that fits your personality once again. So you need a model that you can trade comfortably, that let's say you are a very patient person, then maybe a swing trade style is better for you. If you are a person who likes to make quick trades, then maybe like a scalping strategy or a scalping system will work for you. So firstly, you need to find what works for you as a person. Then you need to go and it either depends what style of trading you prefer, whether it's retail or supply and demand or ICT. You need to find concepts that work for you, that you've backtested, that you've seen works. Then you can combine it into a system, and then obviously with your experience that you have, there are certain things that you can modify, certain things that you can adjust to make the system profitable. Because as I said, most systems can be profitable. Literally just trading hourly chart, you can be profitable. But where the profitability lies is your experience and your psychology going into the market. And it's also something I've been struggling with a lot, and I've only overcame it lately. Maybe end of last year, I really overcame my psychological problem that I had with greediness. So yes.
Yeah. And how did you overcome it? or like, okay, let me ask it like this. Like, what were some of the I don't want to use the term tactics, but like what were some of the things that contributed towards you overcoming greed?
Okay, so overcoming greed, that is a tough one because greed is something that you constantly experience once you take a loss.
Okay.
So and you are going to take a lot of losses, then you're going to be a lot more greedy.
Okay.
So the way I see it, especially with me trading funded accounts and prop firm accounts, the main thing that happens with me is whenever I make, let's say, 4 or 5% profit, I would attach that value in my mind. Let's say I made 5% on a $100,000 account. That is $5,000. Okay, I would attach that number to my mind and be like, oh, I can now buy this. I can now, you know, I have enough money for this, or I can save this much. You already start planning your finances, and you haven't even withdrawn that. Now you trade again.
But that's human nature, right?
Yes, unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah.
That's why most people lose, because it's against human nature.
Yeah.
So I would then maybe take a loss and go down to 4% and be like, oh, I was at 5%. I want to be there again. Like as a human, you want to be at 5% again. You want to be where you were at your best. Then you try and get back there and you take another loss. What starts happening now is in your mind, you start having like a roller coaster of greed and not being content. Because if you think about it in a positive way and being content, an example of that would be, okay, I made 5% on this funded account now. That is $5,000 that I did not have. I only paid, let's say, $400 for this account. I made $5,000. That is a huge amount of money. Let me save that. Let me rather trade way more conservative so that I can't take losses that triggers that greed switch in my brain. Because I do think it's a switch that triggers in your brain the greed aspect of things. Because if you take a small loss, it doesn't really affect you. But when you attach your mind to that psychological number, then you want to get back there. So it doesn't matter how small you risk then, you're going to want to get back there. It's almost, then you're basically gambling. It's like in a casino where you lose your money and you deposit more to make that back. Then you lose more and more and more and more. So it's the same with trading. If you don't overcome that, you're never going to find profitability in these markets. So, yeah.
Yeah, sure. Powerful. Yeah, no, and I think very greed is it's the biggest killer.
For sure.
Of a lot of traders out there. A lot of guys really we succumb to greed. And I think also it's a personal matter as well. It's also like a personal matter because the stuff that you're saying actually it actually goes like outside of trading right now, where it's like you dealing with you, who you are, and all that. Yeah, no, that's powerful. So you mentioned prop firms, funded accounts. And I think that is also one of the hardest subjects right now. It's like everyone's trying to get funded and all that. And you've actually been doing it since like last year, right?
Actually, yes. Yeah, the beginning of last year.
Beginning of last year. So like obviously before the hype and everything, you were like, okay, there, funding accounts. And let's talk about the first experience you had with your first funded account.
I actually really remember the very first one, but I do remember how I used to act with it or react with him. Back then I didn't really have a clue what I was doing. Like I would sometimes be profitable in terms of like maybe for a week or 2 weeks I would make money and then I would just blow all of that money because I want to make more. It was that mindset of, okay, I want to become a millionaire. Like, let me make more. So yeah, I didn't really treat the account with discipline at all. I would risk completely inconsistent, which I said is very, very, very like dangerous. Keeping your risk the same is very key in these markets. Like if you don't keep your risk consistent, you'll never have the consistent, how can I say, growth that you want, because you don't want growth going like this and then down and then up. You want consistent growth because then your brain starts adapting to that growth and you're like, okay, I'm getting somewhere now. Like I'm really getting somewhere. So yeah, the discipline side of things was a huge thing. And I think a way to really overcome that is just be disciplined in other aspects of your life. Be disciplined in going to the gym. Be disciplined in all the things you do, in how you clean your room or how you clean your house, how how you like drive, like are you reckless on the road, are you like all of those things contribute to what's going on in here, and what's going on in here gets fully exposed in the markets.
Yeah.
And that gets displayed in your account, basically.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah. So now you start off your funded account. But are you losing? Like explain the whole process to me. I haven't done a funded.
Okay.
I haven't done a funded account because I know there are the rules you need to
Yes.
follow. You can't just go in there and
Yes.
think that you're gonna risk 50%.
Yes.
Yeah. So like,
Yes.
just explain like that whole process.
So I wanted to pass the account as fast as possible. So I risked a lot, then I blew an account, then I would buy another one, I would blow it till I had zero money left for the month, almost. And then I would wait till next month and I would do the exact same thing. I would buy an account, lose it, I would buy an account and I would lose it again purely because of my greed problem. So it took me about, I think, 5 months till I passed my first phase, and there's 2 phases on the account. So it took me about 5 months. I don't know how, because even if I gambled an account, I could pass phase 1. But I failed for the first 5 months. I couldn't even pass phase 1 until I really, started saying to myself, okay, I'm really sick of losing all these accounts now. Like I would scroll on my prop firm account page and I would see all these account numbers and it says deleted after them, and I would be like, oh my word, what am I doing? Like I don't have a clue what I'm doing and I'm wasting so much money. And yes, I would just like recklessly buy accounts and lose it in the same day. That's how bad I was.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, till I really started telling myself, like, what are you doing? Like, you really need some discipline in your life.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, at that point in my life, I wasn't as disciplined as I am right now with regards to gymming, with regards to all kind of things. Like, your whole life around you contributes to how you see the markets and how you trade your account, how you react to what you're doing on your account. So it was a rough journey with the funded accounts in the beginning. And I also thought, okay, this is a very large sum of money. I would buy $100,000 account. I would be like, okay, this is 1.8 million rand. Like at that time it was 1.6 million rand. I would be like, I'm gonna make so much money now. I was like phoning my mom, all my family, telling them like, I found this website where you can buy an account for that lets you trade 1.6 million rand. And in reality, you don't trade a 1.6 million rand account. You don't trade a $100,000 account. You trade a $12,000 account because you only get 12% that you can lose. A lot of people see it as a $100,000 account when in reality it's actually just $12,000. And when you risk $2,000 on a $100,000 account, it doesn't sound that much. But when you risk $2,000 on a $12,000 account, that starts getting a bit more. And when you lose 2 trades, you're down to what, eight grand? What starts happening then? Your emotions start taking over. That's why a lot of people fail. You need to go in with a mindset, okay, I only have 12% that I can lose. I have unlimited time to pass this account. Because especially with my Forex funds, they let you retry if you end the account in profit and you haven't reached the profit goal within 30 days. That's why I'm saying you have unlimited time. If you just keep your risk extremely low, just do your thing, target small steps, because I think a lot of people, they want to take big steps for some reason. They want to become a massive, very big name in the industry overnight. And that's just dragging you down even further. Because all the people you see that are successful, they went through the exact same thing. They took the small steps. That's what is important. Instead of risking 1% on your account, risk 0.25%, and you can take 4 losses to make the same value as the 1%, and your emotions will be completely calm. Trying to keep your emotions neutral in this game is probably one of the best tips I can give, because then you trade with your system, with your strategy, with your model, and not with your mind. You want to try and detach yourself as much as possible in this game. so that you trade with technical factors and not with your mind.
Actually, what you've actually done right now, because I know we're going to talk about the psychology behind funded accounts, but you've already touched on that a little bit. So, because I think that whole thinking about the 12% compared to the whole amount is actually crucial right now. Because
Yes.
as traders, as South African traders, the guys out there trying to make it, we see numbers right there.
Yes.
We think that, hey, look,
Yes.
there's money right here.
Yes.
I've got gang money to trade. I've got gang money to play with. And at the end of the day, guys, we're not here to play games. Because I feel like a lot of people treat
Yes.
this industry like, hey, now we can just come play games, make money. And it's not. It's what we try to.
Yes.
We're here to build legacies. We're here to build future for the next generation
Yes.
as well. You understand?
Yes.
So guys, let's be serious about trading right now, guys.
Yes.
So with the funded accounts, I think you've touched on almost everything. Anything else you want to add on that?
Well, I would also want to add the whole idea of once you get your first withdrawal, don't start thinking, okay, I made it now. Like, okay, I'm going to make consistent money now. It doesn't get like a lot easier. Yes, to a certain extent, it does get easier because there are certain, how can I say, walls that you need to break to go to the next level. But it doesn't get like a lot easier. You still need to again, the consistency aspect of things. Just do what you do. If something works, don't change anything. That's a big problem I did. I would find something that works, and then I would be like, oh, this guy's also good. Then I would watch his course, and I would be confused. I would be completely lost. And that probably costed me a lot of months of trading experience that I could have had more if I didn't do that. So definitely also how you spend your money is very, very crucial. In the beginning, any money that I made, I would be like, okay, let me go buy some nice Armani clothes now, or let me go buy some nice, what next can I buy? The buy. That was all that was on my mind. And in reality, you should think about saving, especially in the state that this economy is in right now. And not just the economy of South Africa, the economy of the world.
Yeah.
My personal tip would be try and be very money wise right now and save as much as possible. Because there might be times ahead that we do not expect to be as bad as some people think it could be. So how you spend your money is also crucial, because if you spend a lot of your profits, you're going to want to make that back. Like I said yet again, if I have 50,000 Rand that I made from trading and I go buy clothes that cost me 40,000 Rand, I would be like, oh, I only have 10,000 Rand left now. I want to get back to 50. Like, I was at 50,000 Rand. And I'm not sure if that's an issue with everyone. It was an issue with me where I would attach these psychological numbers and I would chase that amount again. Then I would lose that 10K and I would be like, oh, I can't wait till I deposit again so that I can make it back. The whole career till the whole year and a half, the first year and a half was just trying to make back money that I lost.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Sure. Yeah. And I think the other day I saw something with the other one was like, hey, spend your money, you can still make it back. So I'm guessing that that's something that you kind of disagree with based on your own experience.
Well, yes, I would say so, because it puts unnecessary pressure on you. You would have that pressure on making it back, where if you didn't spend it, you had zero pressure. You want to take as much as pressure off of you in this game. Pressure is something that can completely ruin you in this game. It can make you think differently. It can make you react in the market differently. You might trade more often when you shouldn't. So I would say yes, definitely, like, just stay calm in that aspect. Don't try and spend money because you know you're going to make it back, because nothing in this market and this industry is guaranteed. Nothing.
Yeah,
There's no guarantee of, okay, I'm going to make 5% this month. There's no guarantee on that. We don't know if the market is going to collapse tomorrow, if there's going to be an economic crisis. I would be on red alert right now with everything that's going on, especially with money, as I said. So yes, definitely, I wouldn't look at spending a lot of money right now.
Yeah. Okay, no, that's great. That's powerful. So, what is some? Okay, so between you losing all those funded accounts and you making your first withdrawal, second withdrawal, third withdrawal, what is something different that you were doing between those two periods?
Well, it was definitely the switch in my mindset in terms of, okay, I'm not in this to make money tomorrow. I'm not in this to make money in 1 month. I'm in this to just be consistent with what I know. Don't set unnecessary targets. Like I would sometimes be like, okay, I want 10% this month. And that is a target that, again, it puts pressure on you for no reason. Like, what is the reason for targeting 10%? There's no real reason. Just trade your system or trade your model, trade your strategy to the best of your ability, and whatever the market gives you, you take. And another aspect of psychology, I would say, is being content. Like if the market only gives you 6% this month, be content and take it, because a lot of people was minus 6%. So rather be content and take what the market gives you. Yeah, that's what I would do.
Yeah, I was actually looking. I was doing research on the whole funded account things, and came across some information that actually the more people, like 95% of people losing on when it
Yes.
comes to funded accounts, and that's quite crazy though.
Yes, so I do believe there are only a handful, I couldn't remember the exact number, but there are only a handful of traders that have made it past, I think it was 4 payouts in a prop firm company, and that should speak to your heart in terms of, like, if only a handful of people made it till the 4th payout in a month, then definitely there's something wrong in terms of, like, either you are not consistent or you are setting unnecessary goals. So yeah, with regards to that, a lot of people, and not only 95% in the prop firm industry lose money.
Yeah, but
now I would say overall, and I would say even more than that, because people can't control themselves. People create this stigma in their head that they need to be, how can the internet put it, like an alpha or whatever, they need to be on top. And it's not going to happen overnight. The more you try to push it, the more you drag yourself down, because it's important that you know that there's so much competition in this game. There's no way you're going to make it overnight. Like, that idea is something you should get out of your head. Rather focus on personal growth, and really try and set small goals, not massive goals. Obviously, you can have big long-term goals, but your short-term goals should be what is important right now. Say, okay, tomorrow I want to finish this course or this educational material, or tomorrow I want to be on the market in New York session and monitor for 3 hours and really journal, because that's another thing a lot of people don't do, journaling your trades. I personally think journaling your trades is probably one of the most important things in creating profitability, because you can go and look back at why did you take this trade? Why did I lose this trade? What did I do wrong? So yeah, I would definitely see the reason why 95% of people lose money, because they go in reckless.
Yeah, so true. So when it comes to journaling, sorry, I'm just picking off what you're talking about right now. Comes to journaling, what is it? Because I think a lot of people, when it comes to trading plans and journaling, what is it that somebody should be writing down? What are some of the things that you write down that maybe someone is sitting at home and they can be like, okay, actually I need to start writing that down?
Okay, so how I personally journal, and I do know there's no like right way or wrong way, but how I personally journal my trades is I would have a program or an Excel spreadsheet where I have the name of the pair, the date, was it a win, was it a loss, did I like long this pair, did I short this pair, what was the result, was there any news, any comments on the trade, what didn't look right, or was this a textbook setup? And then I would realize, okay, this week I only took 4 trades I took 4 trades, and 3 of those trades wasn't a textbook setup, because I go on maybe a Saturday and I go and look which trades did I take this week, and I would open the TradingView chart and see, oh damn, like, why did I take this? Because I do think a lot of the times afterwards we go back and we see why did I take this trade? Like,
yeah, so true.
It's not a trade I would have taken. When in reality, while you're in that moment, you're so eager to get into the market, you're so eager to make profits that you enter and you, how can I say, you brainwash yourself in terms of seeing certain things that are not even there. So I do think certain traders are on, like, I would call it drugs, in terms of they see things that are not there because they want to make money. So yeah.
Yeah, no, that's so true. That's actually quite spot on. Whatever drugs they're on.
The market drug.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So, what's your biggest loss that you've taken in the market? And that doesn't have to be a monetary loss, and just a loss where you felt like you lost something, and you're just like, yo.
Okay, so when I started off trading, I didn't start off with my own funds. I was in the privileged position where my father still helped me, where he gave me he gave me a lot of money in trading, and he still does support me. I do get a lot of support from my family, which I am very privileged for. But the main thing that stood out to me in terms of losing was he gave me a very huge amount of money that should have lasted me a whole year, and I lost 80% of that amount in a week. And I was like, oh my word, what am I going to do? And I started buying bots, I started buying everything. Like whatever you could think of, I bought just to make that money back. So I was in every aspect of trading. I was in like volatility indexes, I was with NAS, with currencies, different styles of trading, robots, signal providing. So yeah, that was the biggest loss I took.
What's the lesson that you took from that?
I didn't take a lesson, if I have to be brutally honest, because I lost the rest of the money as well. I only learned my lesson after a whole year, where one evening when I was laying in bed, I was like, I lost this amount of money in like 3 months. And I was like, it was like a wake-up call. I was extremely depressed about it. I was like, oh my word, what did I do? Like, how did I let myself go? And but that's basically it. Like the lesson I learned was to not just deposit more and more and more as you are going into drawdown, because it started off with, and I'll put a monetary value to that, it started off with a 3,000 Rand account, which went into drawdown, and I funded more, and it went into more drawdown, and I funded more, and doubling it every single time, and added more positions as well. So basically it was one trade that killed me. It was two, but at the same point. I still remember to this day, that red screen was like printed in my brain. It was gold and NAS.
Okay.
And I was like, I was buying, and it just sold off heavily. And there was like heavy US news that came, like 5,000 pips of drawdown, and it was even going down more, funding more. Till I was like, okay, I don't have money left to fund. And then I blew. So yeah, that was basically the biggest loss I had.
Sure. Sounds scary. Yeah, and on the flip side of it, what's the most memorable trade that you've had? You can call it your craziest trade or your best trade. It's up to you which direction you want to take there.
I would honestly say it was the December NFP. It was probably, it made me the happiest in terms of like, I didn't even risk that much, and I almost 6x'd my account with that.
Sure.
So, and I'm very grateful because I traded with the 100% bonus that XM offers. So that was helping out tremendously. And it was probably a breakthrough moment in terms of news trading, because before that, I would be scared of news. I would be like, oh, I'm only going to trade like 1,000 Rand maybe, because I was very scared of trading news until that December came, and I was like, okay, let me man up here. Let me deposit like a substantial amount. I get 100% bonus, and boom, like NFP, like we killed it, and yeah, that was my best trade.
Yeah. I believe you also you dabble with not dabble, but you trade fundamental.
So with regards to fundamentals, I don't really trade fundamentals in terms of daily trading. It's only for news events.
Yes,
and it's mostly my partner that trades the news. Like he specializes in trading news. He also trades other things with me. We analyze together. We go over all pairs together. But he specializes in news. I just follow what he tells.
Okay.
But like I do also have the complete understanding that he does. It's just he knows it a bit better.
Yeah.
So if I really wanted to, I could go and like get good at it. But it's not really a main point for me right now because he already mastered it. So yeah.
Yeah, and actually, that's something I actually want to ask is that we're talking about Reese, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Reese.
Yes.
Yeah, so Reese is the one who he's got the edge when it comes to trading fundamentals, and you saying right now that you basically just follow him.
Yes.
But like you see, that's what I want to ask. There's a lot of people who follow a lot of people when it comes to fundamental trading. How do you correctly follow someone? I don't know if that makes sense though.
Okay, so I'm not sure how other companies or how other providers would do it, but the way we do it, we approach. Sometimes we would do a live trading session where he would stream on Discord and you would know exactly when to buy or when to sell.
Okay.
Sometimes he would send a signal 1 minute before so you have enough time to enter and you know exactly which time he's going to send the signal. Yeah, but basically those two ways is the only way you can truly follow. You just need to follow what they tell you. So either on the live stream, he will say, okay, guys, I'm going to buy now, or okay, guys, I'm going to sell now, or he would send the signal of buy GBP USD, sell USD CAD or whatever, the signal like that. And with regards to FOMC, it's usually a live stream where we tell them, okay, like I'm selling now, then they can sell.
Okay. Yeah, so right now I've got let's say example, I've got $100 account and I'm about to take a signal from someone. You understand right now what I want to just put out there is that like how much of the accounts am I risking? Because I'm not a fan of trading news. I'm not a fan.
Yes.
But I do understand there are people out there who make the money from trading news as well. But like as well, because I don't understand this part of like, because I feel like when it's a news event, obviously risk is increased.
Yes.
Yeah. So how is that managed? Let's say, for example, on a $100 account.
So you specifically refer to news right now.
Yeah, news.
Okay, so I would say you risk the full account. You risk what you can afford to lose. So you don't just risk a partial amount.
Okay.
Because you'll never lose that exact amount that you're risking because there's slippage, especially with major news events like NFP. Never just fund $100 and say, okay, I'm going to risk $50 because you're going to lose the full $100 because of slippage. Rather be like fund $50 and then full stack the $50 according to what you feel. Okay. So yes, that's how I would do it.
Okay, no, that's great. That's good to know. I think we've come to the end of our interview right now. Thank you so much for, I think, especially coming to the funded accounts chat. I think that's going to be one that a lot of people will learn because essentially we were always trying to look at somebody who's already doing it and trying to find, oh no, that person does it like this. Okay, so I can take that from there, understand? And I hope you guys listened and you guys heard what Rian had to say today. Do you have any trading advice for people trading funded accounts? Yeah.
Any trading advice for specifically funded accounts?
Yeah, for people trading funded accounts.
Top 3 tips would be keep risk consistent. Don't enter like just any trade. Have specific criteria and just be disciplined with everything. Don't chase it. Don't be like, okay, I'm trading massive amounts of money. Rather be content with small wins. Celebrate the small wins in terms of like be happy about it. Don't celebrate in terms of buying stuff. But just be consistent, be disciplined, and just keep doing what you're doing. Like acknowledge the small growth, and you'll get there.
Yeah,
you'll get there.
No,
and obviously, you need a system that has an edge. So yes.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you so much, Rian.
Thank you so much
for putting through. I think we're at the end. We're done.
Perfect. Yes.
Perfect. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm sitting down with Rian Lombard from Phase 3 Trading. We'll leave all the details down below in the description for you guys to reach out to him or to them as a company as well. And thank you guys so much for watching. This was another installment of Market Masters with myself, Nqobile Tembane, and big thank you to XM for making this possible. Thank you, and we out.